What's going on, everybody? Tim from Thrawn Orbital. So this is going to serve as a very quick demo video for the client. This is a Proffie install for a pair of Thrawn Hunters from KR Sabers and 1 Replicas. So luckily for me, I did not have to design a chassis for this build. This is a Goth Eco chassis. So it will be a pretty straightforward video just on how to use the hilts, how to put the battery in and the blade and all that good stuff. And then we'll be on our way. So yeah, as I said, this is the KR Sabers Thrawn Hunters. The KR started this run in late 2021. These are based off of Ashoka's hilts from The Mandalorian. They started shipping earlier this year, so they are out in the wild. There's a bunch of them out there now, and I think KR still has them in stock. So fantastic looking hilts. I do appreciate that KR went to some significant lengths to make sure they were as screen accurate as possible. I did hear rumors that they actually did like screen grabs of Rosario Dawson's hands holding her on set hilts, and they made measurements off of that. So super unique hilts. I love them. I love the way they look. So why don't we just really go into talking about how to get at the battery compartment, because it is a little bit of a intricate process for both hilts. So let's get at it, right? So let's go up top. Here they are, Thrawn Hunters from KR Sabers. So we'll start with the shorter hilt. Okay, we do have, so there is a kill key. These kill keys are the brass upgrade from KR Sabers. I think they look fantastic with the rest of the hilt. Some brass accents on the switch and the kill key. So we have a kill key, pommel cap is here. It is a single button setup, and we do have some very large hex screws as well. These do help hold the plate in place, and that's how you get at your board. So let's go over that. So to open up the compartment, I usually start with that top screw. This is a number 5 hex screw. Unfortunately, KR did not ship Allen keys with this set, and there are 3 different sizes, so I will be making sure to note to the client which sizes you're going to need. So that's a number 5 hex, that bigger one. Coming down to the pommel cap, next you want to unscrew your pommel cap, and that is a 2mm, yeah, number 2 hex Allen key. So I unscrew the pommel cap next. Pommel cap comes off. Okay, both are a little bit different with the clearances. So this pommel, this is like a this holds the pommel cap in. It serves as where where you screw the screw into the pommel. I unscrew that just a little bit, and that's another size down. This is a number 1.5. It's a 1.5mm Allen key. So I unscrew that just a little bit, and then you slide this up and it'll come up. Okay, so here is your compartment. We have a Goth Eco chassis. So much room in both of these hilts. Plenty of room to get everything wired up. So it was really nice. It was a welcome pleasure to install, because I didn't have to do any cram fooing or anything like that. So battery tray is here. Here's where your Proffie board sits. Proffie board is press fit into this section. And that's it. Really simple setup. So to put your battery in this particular chassis, the negative is towards the emitter. That's this springy section here. Okay, so you want to take the flat part of your battery, rest it in the tray, and you're good to go. Now, if you want to check to make sure your battery is making a good connection, you can pull your kill.
I am no Jedi.
Pull your kill key and just make sure it's good to go, right? So then you want to put your cover back on. So you slide the top part up into this chasm here. Chasm? I don't think that's what that is. And so then you screw this pommel housing in. So I did notice with the shorter hilt, okay, when you get this top cover on, you can slide it down into these, they're almost like little pins that can hold or secure that in place, right? Or slot. It's like a slot. And then you tighten your pommel housing and then put your pommel on. Yeah, definitely not as straightforward as like an unscrewable grip. But it is, again, it's an awkward, it's a different shaped hilt, obviously, so no threading here. So that's that first one. And then you put your giant hex screw back in. Okay, and now let's talk about the main hilt. So with the main hilt, it's essentially the same process, but there are another 2 screws in the middle here that you need to unscrew. So let's start with our top screw, the larger one. These 2 center screws are number 1.5 or 1.5 millimeter Allen key. And then we want to take off our pommel cap. Pommel cap slides off. And then I do loosen that pommel cap housing as well. So this can slide up. Now, the tolerances with this main hilt are super, super precise. So I do have to kind of help this out a little bit when taking this off the main hilt. And there's the main. Same deal, huge. I mean, look at all the space here. So I think Goth, with the Goth Master chassis, he utilized all of this for like a crystal chamber area and a bunch of like really cool brass accents. But there's just plenty of space in this thing, right? So same deal. Here is the battery compartment. So let's get a battery. So same deal. Here is the battery compartment. So you want to take the flat part of your battery, pop your battery in. I just like to test to make sure
No Jedi.
my battery is making a good contact to those terminals. All right, and you're good to go. So we put everything back together. Now, single button setup, okay, on both of them. So I happen to have a shorter blade for the shorter hilt. To put your blade in, you want to make sure there is a set screw on these decorative rings up here. I also do appreciate that KR integrated some longer blade holders in this, so there's plenty of blade depth, right? So to put your blade in, make sure your set screw is loose. Rest it on those PCB pins for the emitter. And this is a number 2 Allen key, same as the main screws down there. So that's ready. So that's the smaller hilt. And for the main, I happen to have a KR pixel strip here, blade. Okay. And there we go. So let's see if I can do this, both of them on camera. So you pull your kill keys.
I am no Jedi. I am no Jedi.
Single button. Yep. Single button setup. And there we go. So I've set this up with the same config on each, okay? But there's a couple of Ashoka fonts on there, obviously, on both of them. And that's really pretty much it, right? So single button setup. To go to clash, it's a long press and release, and tap to retract. Twist to activate and deactivate are on both of them. We're just going to do the one for the rest of the video. So twist to activate is on, twist to deactivate is on as well. To change fonts, it's a long press and release while the hilt is pointed up.
I am a Jedi.
That goes forward.
Like my father before me.
To go back in fonts, it's the same while you're pressing the hilt or pointing the hilt down. Okay? So pretty straightforward. I do want to say about these switches too. So these are just regular plunger switches that screw into the housing of the hilt. Sometimes as you use it, this can come misaligned, not misaligned, but it can come unscrewed a little bit. And so if you find that you're pressing your switch and it's not making a connection to the inner tactile switch on the chassis, you can unscrew this and there's a Phillips head screw on the inside of it, and that's how you raise or lower it to edit the height of the switch. So sometimes it can just kind of start creeping up, and as you press it, it won't touch that tactile, so you can make changes that way if need be. So that's it. Really quick demo video on how to use the hilts. Super unique hilts, like them a lot. Anything KR does I really like. So anyway, it's a pleasure doing this build. It was a pleasure. To the client, thank you very much for trusting me with the install. To the viewers, if you have any questions about this particular build, please don't be a stranger. And with that being said, may the force be with you always. Thanks for watching, everybody.